Are we really ready to have that value or the value of human life determined by the eyes of another human beholder? Are we all going to be willing to say, you know what? We'll all just establish what has value, who doesn't. And if you do such and such, then you have no value. I don't have to forgive you. Is that really what we want out of life? Is that what we want in our world? Do we really want to return to things like Nazi Germany, where an authority determined what the value of human life was? And beside all the Jews that were killed, what was it like? He already killed like a million Germans before he ever started with the Jews. The old and the decrepit and the deformed young people. Is that really what we want? It's what happens every day in America. Unwanted children are sent to be with their Creator at the hands of somebody that doesn't want them. Do we really want that? Or is there another standard by which human life is valued? Is it really up to me to decide that your behavior is unforgivable? Is it really up to me to hold the grudge, the resentment? Is that really a value that I'm capable of rendering? All human life has value because they bear the image of God. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Let us make man in our image. God so valued humanity that while we are still on the side of the ledger that says enemies, He sent His Son to die for us, willing, as Spencer shared earlier, to be separated from His own Father because of my sin. But God demonstrates His own love toward us in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God through the death of His Son, much more, having been reconciled, we shall be saved by His life. God valued you and I, not only because we are created in His image, He valued us even when we were enemies. God establishes the standard of valuing humans, not other humans. Grace House residents hold a unique and special place in that value system because Grace House residents have been created in the image of God, but then they've been recreated in the image of His Son. And so the one who eats is not to regard with contempt the one who does not eat. And the one who does not eat is not to judge the one who eats, for God has accepted him. Who are you? Now he's talking about Grace House residents. Who are you to judge the servant of another? To his own master he stands or falls. And he will stand, for the Lord is able to make him stand. A heart willing to understand, a value of the offender. And the last material that we can reframe these events with is a willingness to love. Understanding and valuing are made authentic through the actions of love. If I'm trying to reframe and work on forgiveness, my understanding heart and my ability to value you are proven by actions of love. Where love is priority, what has been done is separated from who has done it. Where love is priority, the actions of the person are separated from the one who has done that. This may happen in small but increasing increments, step by step, until love works its completeness and forgiveness is discovered. Now, we've mentioned this earlier, but this whole process is never easy and it's never fast, it's never quick. It may be baby steps, it may be small increments, but it happens slowly as the discovery continues. Paul's description of loving actions in 1 Corinthians chapter 13, these things just ooze the spirit of forgiveness. Listen to them in that vein. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous. It does not brag. It is not proud. Love is not rude, it is not selfish, and does not get upset with others. Love does not count up wrongs that have been done. Love is not happy with evil, but happy with truth. Love patiently accepts all things. It always trusts, always hopes, and always remains strong. Love is a reframing material. It holds the remarkable ability to cover, to conceal the most painful of life experiences. You see, we get it all backwards. The modern world says you love things, you love people when everything goes your way. We base our love on how things happen toward us. The Bible says we demonstrate love, we give love, and as a result, we reframe many of the painful events of life, many of which we struggle to forgive. Solomon and Peter explain this wonder. Solomon says, hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all transgressions. He who conceals a transgression seeks love, but he who repeats a matter separates intimate friends. And then Peter says, everything in the world is about to be wrapped up, so take nothing for granted. Stay wide awake in prayer. Most of all, love each other as if your life depended on it. Love makes up for practically anything. Love covers a multitude of sins, is how most translations render that. The word that's interesting that Peter uses for cover, it's compound. The first part of it means to steal. And the second part of it means to hide or to be secret. Now, look at how beautiful this thought is. Love steals away the thought that would lead us to be unforgiving. Love steals that thought away, and then it hides it. That's the power love has in reframing these events. The journey towards discovering forgiveness begins by reframing one's pain with a willing heart, seeing value, and a willingness to love. There is no other path upon which biblical forgiveness can be discovered. Any other direction we want to walk, we won't discover biblical forgiveness. If we don't do it with understanding, valuing, and loving, we'll not get there. We may get bits and pieces, but we're not going to reach biblical forgiveness. Following any other pathway leads into a dark, destructive forest of self-justification and deformed forgiveness impersonators. It is reframing. It is in reframing that one is set free from the corruption, the control, the magnification, and the substitution. None of the journey is easy, but then submissive obedience usually isn't easy. We've learned that lesson hopefully already before. The struggle you are having right now with forgiving another can begin to change if you commit right now, today, to decide, I'm going to reframe the hurt. You see, earlier, talked about forgetting. Forgetting is unrealistic. It's not part of biblical forgiveness. Instead of forgetting, remember. Bring the event to the present, but make a new frame for it to live in. That new framework needs to be built of materials like understanding, valuing, and loving. And there's only one question that's really left, and that is, how willing are we to do that? How willing are we to do that? Now again, think about this forgiveness as a discovery. Do you know what I found true in my life? Is that I have things that have had to have new frames quite often. But that's part of the discovery. Let us never think that forgiveness is something that we finally reach, we finally get a hold of, we finally achieve, and then it's done. Because it isn't. Because God gave us memories, and the event is always going to be there. It's always in the past, and it will at some time, when we least expect it, it will show up, and there it will be again. And you know what we'll have to do? We'll have to go to the reframing shop. And we'll have to say, you know what, I need a heart of understanding. Give me a chunk of that heart of understanding, and give me that little piece of value right over there, and how about a chunk of love? And I'm going to make a new frame. And remember this, Jesus said if you're asked to do that 490 times in a day, you do it. You reframe. Discovering forgiveness. Making it our tradition. All begins with a new framework.